Asif Ali, welcome to Green Eggs and Dan.
Come on, I'm
Come
happy to
on.
be here. Come
How
on.
how has this taken us so long? I don't even know. I mean,
We're
I
busy
think
guys.
I think about you every day. I seethe. I seethe with jealousy. Um, there's a running gag in the brown actor community that whenever we go on an audition and Asif walks in, we might as well all leave.
I didn't know I was a cause of such concern.
Oh my God, we all have a dartboard of your face in our house. Um, And nothing is making us more jealous than this wonderful show that you're a part of. Deli Boys, you guys
Yeah.
gotta watch it on the Hulu. It's so funny. I have a friend who wrote on it, Vali Chandrasekaran.
Yes, Volley. We love Volley.
It was so good and so clean and easy. Like the story was clear. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was like, and the acting was great. Anyway, congratulations. It's so
Thank you
great
so
to
much.
see. It's funny because you're like one of those people who hustles harder than anyone I know, and it's like it's great to see things happen for the hustlers.
Thank you, bro.
Because
Look at us.
when
We're
we see
both
things
hustlers.
happen for the people who don't work their asses off, nothing angers me more.
Then being like, you just moved here and now you're on White Lotus? What the fuck, dude?
Oh my God, literally. So I jest. I have zero animus towards your success because you deserve it more than anyone I know.
Thank you,
Um,
dude. Thank you.
which brings us to your fridge. You would think that success would bring you a more successful fridge, but
No, 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 no.
I'm here to tell you guys that those things are, it seems, inversely proportional in Asif's life. I'm going to share the screen right now so we can see it. You guys can see Asif's fridge on my Instagram at standupdan. Here we go.
And I
Okay.
didn't have any time to move things around really.
Clearly.
I would have loved
Clearly.
to throw out. I would have thrown out several things if this was my architectural digest. But here we are. Here we
Yeah.
are.
No, this is not Architectural Digest. This is more Highlights Magazine.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, it's dim. This looks like a photo you'd see on Craigslist. The lighting could have been a lot better. This is a photo you send to someone and they go, you got to get out of here.
Yeah, I don't know how it is that you have like a almost like a surgical halogen lamp on your in your
Yeah, my
fridge.
fridge is like my original fridge died, and then they like sent me this replacement fridge, but I feel like it was just another just bunk fridge that they had.
Yeah,
And yeah, just lighting in a fridge really, I mean, you probably see so many of them. A lot of fridges don't present nice
right. Most,
unless it's like
I
a
would say.
unless it's a fancy fridge.
Yeah, unless you have the two
Oh,
door,
my brother has that, the two doors and then that drawer on the bottom for the freezer.
Oh,
Then you're living, man.
do you know what I've realized I've never had in my life? And I say this as someone who's kind of successful,
Yeah.
but I've never had an ice maker.
Oh,
I've never had that. I feel like that will change my life so significantly. I've never had it. I've always had to fill up the stupid ice tray,
yep.
walk it slowly from the sink to
As
the
you're shaking.
yeah, right. As like just scared for my life that I'm gonna drip some of the water. Somehow putting it in with the silicone like
Yeah.
vibrating, and I mean it's just the worst.
But those people who have it, it's like, I feel like though it would really, you know, we're out doing stand up at night and stuff, but I live on the west side, so all my friends I feel like live east side, and it's already
Yeah.
hard enough to see them. And I just feel like if I had a two-door with the ice machine, you would never see me again. Life would be too good.
I think I just realized something else that you and I have in common, which is crazy,
Yeah.
which is that we both drive Porsches
Yeah.
and we both don't have ice machines.
My God, man.
We have our priorities
We
straight.
have our priorities exactly correct.
There is a flex in this fridge. You're flexing on us.
What
You're
am I flexing?
You're flexing on us with count them, 2 cartons of eggs, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just say
in
I've
this
come
day and
into a
age.
small sum of money recently.
Yeah. 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 You will not know that I won the lottery, but there will be signs.
Yeah. And those are the good ones. For a moment was like, these egg prices are getting out of control. I'm gonna buy the ones we grew up with. Your sort of starch white, that
Yeah.
chicken has been, drinking Four Loko and he has been jammed up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
unfortunately, I feel like my palate is not as advanced as my friends like you, or just even friends who have just, they just do nice restaurants more than I do.
Hmm.
But I feel like with eggs, it's one of the few things where I legitimately can taste the difference. And I
Yeah.
tried going back to those
The
the all white
the
non-brown ones,
the fentanyl eggs.
the
Fentanyl
fentanyl
eggs.
eggs, and it just kind of I could taste it, and it was just like, oh, if this is what eggs are gonna be for me, maybe I'm just not gonna do eggs anymore. And by the way, I feel like that's a larger thing that our country has to deal with of like eggs should not have had this much of an outsized effect on our election. The
Yeah.
idea of the price of eggs should not have been such a load bearing point for people when they vote. And it's like we can just not eat eggs. It's
Right.
fine. If that is what it is, just I would trade eggs for no fascism. I would do that in a
Right.
heartbeat. But what I found during this election is people were just like, no, man, breakfast
Yeah.
burrito is and I breakfast burrito is hard to say no to.
It is hard to say no to. I will say, by the way, eggs are the one place where it's I'm gonna say almost reverse discrimination, where the
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
brown
yeah.
eggs, the brown
Nobody wants
eggs
white eggs.
are the
Nobody
gold
wants.
standard. No one wants the DEI white eggs.
No, get them out of here, dude. We want brown eggs, preferably with speckles on them and shit.
You you know what's crazy? Because I did a deep dive on this. The
Yeah.
color of the eggs does not actually it does not tell you if it's a better egg or a worse
Oh,
egg.
really?
Yeah, it's just from a different breed of chicken, okay? So the
Ah.
white egg comes from it's something called like the foghorn something chicken.
Uh-huh.
And the brown egg comes from a brown chicken. I don't know what the
Yeah.
breed is, but basically because people thought that brown eggs are better than white eggs, it almost like they reverse engineered it where like then the brown eggs were the prices were going higher, they were feeding them better feed, and then they were writing the
Oh,
pasture. You can have a
yeah.
perfectly organic orange free trade yoga
Yeah.
doing chicken white
Yeah.
egg, but it sort of went that way where people
Wow.
thought that the brown one was better, and then the brown one actually became better
Because they were
because
pumping more funding to the brown eggs.
yes,
Wow. Because I
yeah,
remember white eggs when I was growing up, they didn't taste this bad.
no,
Which is why when I got the white eggs this past year or whatever, I was like, oh, it'll be fine. I was just being bougie. And then I
yeah,
tasted it and I was like, there you go. There's your answer. It's been 20 plus years of neglecting the white egg
yeah,
in the interest of, and also the brown eggs are bigger, so I feel like I'm getting more value. The white ones are like so tiny.
yeah, yeah. And then there's purple eggs, there
Yeah.
are ostrich eggs,
I've
there's
never had
duck
an ostrich
eggs.
egg. Are they good? They're the big ones, right? The big
Yeah, they're
daddies?
enormous. I don't know. I have zero interest in your big ostrich egg agenda. I want nothing to do with it. I'm surprised that didn't take off once the egg shortage started. Like the ostriches, it was like, hey guys, here's your chance.
Well, as Americans, I think we have like um a rigid familiarity where we're like, okay, eggs, we just do eggs. And then if someone introduces like pheasant eggs or ostrich eggs or whatever, A, they're like not as easy to get.
Yeah.
But B, I just feel like, especially when it comes to breakfast, this is why I think this was like a contentious thing, is because breakfast I feel like is the only meal that people are not willing to really budge on. Lunch
Yeah.
and dinner, people are willing to be like, I'll try new things, whatever, whatever. I rarely ever hear people being like, hey, let's do a crazy different breakfast. When
Right.
people wake up, they're like, I want the same three things I've been eating for the past 15 years, unless I'm in a different country, which even then, I'll still want to be relatively in
Yeah.
the universe of what I
Yeah.
usually eat.
Yeah. I'll go to Asia and I'll do your soup in the
Yeah,
morning.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Your your weird ass morning soup. I will do it, but will I enjoy it? I'm not sure, but I will say that I will. I will
yes.
definitely say that I will.
Yeah, it
Um,
just feels like all the other meals people are like totally into like experimenting. Like if you went on vacation and you're like, I want the same breakfast, people will be like, okay, I get that. But if you're like, I want the same lunch and dinner that I have in America, people will be like, then why are you traveling? This is deranged. But for breakfast, everyone's like, yeah, you're right. We should just have coffee and eggs and
yeah,
keep it simple.
yeah. I will say
What is the craziest breakfast you've had internationally?
the craziest breakfast I've had internationally. Um, I don't know, man. I'm trying to
The soup
think.
thing is pretty like I've gone to like see my family in Hyderabad in India, and there was this one thing that it's called halim. It's like a meat soupy kind of thing, and you just eat it with bread, and it just sits like marinating for
Yeah,
like just 10 hours, and people will like they just get a bowl of it. It feels very like old timey because it is like you just get a bowl of gruel, kind of like in a movie where they go like an old timey movie where you get to the tavern and they give you just a bowl of gruel and a piece of hard bread.
yes, yes.
And it just looks like that, but it's so good because it's all flavor. I don't know what the nutritional value is, but it's just like all deep flavor. And
We
and
have the
that
same thing, by the way, in Persian cuisine. There's halim. I think it's
it's
got
the
to be the
same
same
thing.
thing.
I think
Yeah,
it's halim Islam. And I remember eating it and we had to go early because my cousin was like, we have to get there at like 7 o'clock in the morning because by 8, all like the truck drivers and people going to work and like the menu, like it will be done.
yeah,
And we got there and it was just like on the street and you go into this tiny little store and it was just like jammed. And you get this little, they just give you a little bowl, zero customer service, which I have come to understand that actually is something to be of value because if you go to a restaurant and they're being too nice and asking you about your day and how you've been, that's time they should be investing in
ah,
making the food. I
smoke and
don't
mirrors.
need, yeah, 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 yeah. I need you to come at me. Be like, how many? Sit down, give me the cash, shut the fuck up, here's your food. I don't need this kind of, because I feel like the nicer the sort of customer service is, that's just an overcharge. You're just being paid for ambiance, and
Mm,
being nice to me is part of the ambiance.
mm,
Versus over there, you're getting a great deal, but they're just telling you to shut the fuck up.
yeah,
You never ask me how my day is, and I'm never going to ask you. Just sit down and have the greatest meal of your life, and you will be elbow to elbow with some just a bunch of rando dudes. But my cousin was like, the weird thing about this was they were all fighting over like the tongue.
oh yeah.
They were like, I need the tongue. And then the guy was like trying to be nice to my cousin because he goes there all the time. He's like, here's a tongue. And my cousin, I've never seen him happier in my life.
Was it a beef tongue or a lamb tongue?
Lamb tongue. It was lamb tongue.
Yeah.
And he was like, you see? He was like, see, this is why you got to be a part of the community. These are the perks.
I put in my time, bro.
I put in
Look,
my time, 10 plus
yeah.
years. You get the tongue, man. You see what happens here. And everybody else is, all the other dudes are looking at him like, this son of a bitch got the tongue.
He's got a t-shirt made that said I got the tongue.
I get tongue. Yeah.
Oh man, that is so good. So I was thinking about other weird breakfasts while you were talking. I was
Yeah.
focusing, but I was also thinking at the same
Yes, yes,
time.
yes, yes.
Japanese breakfast is interesting to me because they
What
go
is
hard.
Japanese breakfast?
They go hard in the paint with like they'll do like it'll be like a little bento box thing, but then it'll be like a
Oh.
piece of mackerel. Like
Oh.
they're like, "Oh, let's give you the funkiest fish to start your day."
7 o'clock in the morning. Let's go.
Start your fucking day. Not salmon, not cod. No, mackerel. Just a a lopping piece of
Yeah, just
mackerel.
to build some grit. And like the thing with like Indian or like South Asian food is I didn't know this, but apparently like a lot of it is hot, obviously, because you want to ward off disease and all that kind of stuff, contamination. But a lot of it is like so heavy and caloric, just like high calorie stuff, because
Yeah.
apparently back in the day, people needed to eat that because then they were just out working, like
Yeah.
doing manual ass labor for like 15 hours. So eating a whole thing of halim was not a problem. But we ate it and then we just went and sat at my aunt's house and then we were just like sweating oil like from our face.
I was in Egypt about a year and a half ago, and
Yeah.
every morning I was having fool, which is their big breakfast thing, which is
Yeah.
like just like it's like a dense. It's the same. I felt the same way. It's like a dense bean stew,
Yeah.
and again, I think you're supposed to eat that and then start building pyramids.
Yeah, pick up a fucking 3-ton piece of brick and then move it. You can't
Right.
just sit down and look at
Right.
your phone. It's not for
No,
that.
because yeah, I ate it and then sat by the beach, and I was like, oh my God.
Just marinating yourself.
It's not what this breakfast was made for. Um,
But I just feel like I should experiment more. I definitely experiment more with like, I use like a char or I'll use like chili crisp. Like I'll try to experiment spice wise with breakfast, but very rarely am I like, let's get a stew popping off. That
yeah,
just requires a level of um home and planning
yeah,
and just like you're a home person.
yeah. This is not the fridge of
No.
someone who's planning stews the night before.
This you don't make a stew and then rush out to work.
Right.
You've planned it yesterday and then you got the crock pot going so that
Yeah,
this morning you could present it to people and then they leave to work kind of
yeah.
thing. Uh yeah, but I like the idea of maybe someday switching it up and trying different things, but yeah, people just don't budge
Oh
on
my God, your parents are yelling at you over the podcast. Then find a wife.
Yeah. We keep
Find a
telling you
wife
this.
to
Your
make you the
problems have
stew.
answers.
Find a goddamn wife. If only there was a stew. Yeah, one day I'll start making stews. No,
No,
you don't
that's
make the
that's
stew.
somebody else's job. God damn it.
Oh man. My eye is being drawn to this bucket o' dates that you
Bucket of
have
dates.
also
Listen,
on the top row. Is this like a Ramadan special? Is this
no, I always have dates. It's always just like a nice thing to have. It's a nice little treat because if you look underneath, like where these two salad boxes are,
Yes.
above that is brownies. And so what we have to do in our life is because that's there, this is why we need to have dates because dates keep me from getting my brother brought that the dates the sorry the brownies and so that's a problem. But
Okay.
if you get I've spent a lot of time in my life trying to find an alternative because I feel like I'm never gonna not be into what I'm into.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
for like I love having a little sweet treat. But
Yeah.
if I have brownies, I'm gonna eat 46 of them.
Right.
And the
Right.
fact that there's any left in that tin is truly an achievement in self-preservation. But you got to have the dates there. I feel like they just hit the same the same spot. They
Yeah.
don't.
First of all, I just want to say I like that you have an aspirational fridge because you
Yeah,
referred to the brownies as that they were in a tin. They're in a
they're in a
plastic.
plastic container.
They're in a plastic container. They're not in a tin.
Well, part of my nutritional, values for the day is I need to get enough PFAS in my system every day
Yeah.
to get myself going. I need to be consuming a lot of plastic, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I will say, I thought I knew what dates tasted like.
Mm,
I thought I knew what a date was.
yeah.
And then I went to Dubai.
Oh God, the dates there must be insane.
They have a date shop there called Batil, okay?
Uh-huh.
And these are dates from Saudi Arabia
Yeah.
that are brought over. And I'm telling you, this store looks like a Tiffany's. Like it's
Oh,
insanely upscale. All the
yeah.
dates are like in they come in a box, like one in front of the other, like 10 to a
Like
box.
really fancy chocolates.
Yes, and they're like
Wow.
$2 a date, which
Holy
is
shit.
I know. But let me tell you, this thing changed my life. And they have like different breeds. They have like different genetic breeds of dates. Uh,
Oh,
they 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 have them. Some are filled with nuts. Some are have
yeah,
like
those are
a
those are
macadamia
special
nut.
when they fill them with nuts. I had one recently that was like a fancy peanut butter and nuts in the
Yeah.
date. You could make a whole meal out of those.
Bro, they have some there that they come in a box, like they're like presentation, like for you give it to someone for their fucking wedding. It's like in a
Yeah.
like in a it looks like a humidor. Like it comes in a humidor.
Oh shit. Like with the glass and you look through it and go, "Hey
Yeah.
man,
It's
don't ever
like,
say I don't care about you. I got you 13 dates from Dubai."
oh my God.
And they never eat them. They keep them in the fridge like a wedding cake. They're like, "We're gonna eat one now and then one
Oh,
every year."
it's so good. It's like you walk in the store and you're like, man, these Gulf Arabs have way too much money.
They have way too much money, but I think that is kind of like a testament to like if people cared about food that much, like how great food could be. Like when
Bro,
you go to
these
other countries and they're not completely controlled by companies that make ultra processed foods, like our country is just completely controlled by, they just want to make everything trash.
uh-oh.
You go to
RFK Ali coming through.
listen, we're trying to take it out. Vivas are good for your immune system. We gotta let it run. I read a thing today that he said he wanted to let bird flu just like have a run
Hey
and then
man,
keep the birds that live. I'm like, what is going on with this
it's
guy?
time for Hunger Games with the birds. I've been saying it for years. Let's get drones up there so we can all watch it.
Yeah, absolutely deranged. But when you go to other countries, it's like we went to like I think I did like a thing in London, and then me and my brother went around Europe because I never done like proper Europe trip. So I was like, oh, I have the time. So we did it, and you go to a country in Europe, like you go to like Italy, and like they care about even if it's just like a random place, they have like a pride. They're not going to be like, hey, let's just do bullshit pasta because it's cheaper or whatever. Like, no big
Right.
deal. They're like, no, 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 no. This is like an affront to us as human beings.
Yeah.
Like, why do I exist? What is my purpose in my life? Who am I if I'm serving you this dog shit?
Yeah.
And then you go to like Spain and like they feel the same way about like olives, where like I've never had olives that good in my life at some random market. And I looked at my brother and I'm like, they don't need to do this, but the fact that they actually are putting this much effort says a lot. And it's
Yeah.
like, and that made me really sad. And then you come back, and then also you learn that so many of the things that we grow here, most countries won't even accept it
Yeah.
because they'll be
Yeah.
like, this is actually doesn't fall within our health standards. And
Right.
then we just eat it, which is insane. But
Now's
that
a
dedication is really, that was very impressive to me.
now's a good time for a word from our sponsor, Monsanto.
Monsanto, it's our seeds only.
Yeah, yeah. Don't tread on my seeds. Um, this is you know what they have in London that I love that I
Yeah.
feel like we need more of in America is
Yeah.
like they've got the super upscale Indian restaurants that make you
Yes.
feel like you're in like colonial India.
Yeah, but it's white people serving you. It's
Yes,
amazing.
it's like Gymkhana, I think that's what it's
Yeah,
called.
yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're starting to get there's something about that like I feel like a Raj when I'm at one of those places. I just love it. Like there's one that I went to recently in New York called Bungalow, which
Bungalow.
you have to go to if you're in New
I will.
York. It is this sh chef's name is Vikas, and he's like the Gordon Ramsay of India.
Oh,
Like
wow.
he's got like 4 point something million followers on
Oh my
on
God.
on the socials. But he's I think he's literally the host of Master Chef in India.
Oh
But
shit.
man, his food was so delicious. And it's very hard. It's hard to get in. You know a guy now. I can
Yeah, I know a guy. How
although I'm
how was the because so much like when we were growing up was like, oh, only like two cuisines deserve to be respected, is what we were told when we were younger, right? So it's like Italian food, French food, because those are the only two foods where if you go to a restaurant, it's like a fancy, oh, this you wear a suit to this place. But then when you
Yeah.
go to like a Persian place or an Indian place or Mexican place, it's always just like if you wore a suit, they'd be like, what are you doing? I mean, you'll
Yeah.
get the tongue, but what are you doing? This is crazy. And and I like and don't like. I like that that's a thing now where it's like, yeah, our cuisine has just as much value to be held in that esteem
Yeah.
as any other cuisine, obviously. But then at the other end, I'm like, oh man, which is I'm very interested in hearing the answer to this question, which is like, is it like fancy for fancy's sake, or is it like, oh, this is worth it. This is
I
awesome.
see what you're saying. I understand 100% what you're saying. Sometimes what you're saying is cuisines that come from a place of like sort of like I don't want to say poverty, but like because Persian food falls into this category too. So I'm not digging, but
Yeah,
it's
of
like
course, of
sort of
course.
this like sort of more of like a home cook meal
Yeah,
vibe. That do you lose when do you lose a lot of it when they get dressed up like that? Like,
yeah.
does it feel like a valet parker wearing a tuxedo?
Right. Is it like a leaf on a plate and then they
Right.
go, just smell it, and then that's the essence of this food or
And I
something
have
like that?
felt like that in some, like when I was in Mexico City, I felt that way about some of their three-star Michelin places. I was like,
Mm,
something's missing here. It feels like like they're trying too hard. I did not feel that way about Bungalow. I feel
okay.
like he actually, first of all, he's got a I think one or two Michelin stars now. He
Whoa.
also loves like talking philosophically about exactly what you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
why is it that South Asian or Asian cuisine is not considered at that echelon? He's
Yeah.
doing it, and he's doing it really well. And there was nothing to me that felt like, oh, this is trying too hard.
Yeah. I'm
So
literally writing it down right now because I'm
yeah.
gonna go back to New York in a little bit.
Yeah. And also I went with an Indian person and she had so much pride going there. Like
Yeah.
she felt like
Finally.
this is great. Finally, like there's and it's like mostly Indian people. A lot of times the dressed up ethnic
Oh,
restaurant will have mostly
totally.
white people. This one
Yeah.
is not like that. Mostly
I
Indian
love
people.
that.
And no, it's a vibe he's created there that's fantastic.
I love that.
I highly recommend Bungalow.
I'll definitely be hitting up my guy about it.
Yes, hit up your guy. You will get the tongue, my friend. Um, now, I was going to ask you about deli foods. I do
Yes.
see a Fat Sal's. I see a
Yes.
Fat Sal's, which is a sort of it's an Italian sandwich shop, like a Jersey sandwich shop.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Are you a deli guy?
I
Have
am
you?
you know what? I, for the longest time, was like a big uh Jersey Mike's guy to the detriment of some relationships. They'd be like, wow, this guy just keeps ordering Jersey Mike's. And I just feel like every person has like their sort of thing that they go back to as their sort of comfort food. And for some reason, I don't know what happened, but I just got into Jersey Mike's at some point in my life and then became like that guy for a long time. But there's no Jersey Mike's around me, really. And the thing about Fat Sal's is it feels like an elevated Jersey Mike's. No shade to Jersey Mike's. I still love them.
Yeah.
But also the hours for Fat Sal's are like way better for, so it's mostly the hours. Like the food is relatively the same, but to me, as a comedian, we have late night hours. And Jersey
Yes.
Mike's closes. Jersey Mike is he's a respectable guy. He's got a family. He's got to go
Yeah.
home at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Fat
Don't be
Sal's,
fooled. Don't be fooled by his first name.
don't be fooled.
Jersey Mike.
He takes care of his family. Now,
Yeah.
Fat Sal is out. He's out on the porch
Yeah.
smoking a doobie at 3 o'clock in the morning. Fat Sal stays open until 3. So it's like that has become my sort of new go-to in the past year and a half is that now
Mm.
there's one close by me and it stays open so late that I can always just swing by there. And I get a turkey. I get like a turkey, avocado, you know, Italian peppers, uh, some lettuce, light mayo on their little nice bread situation, and then I get a honey mustard,
Mm.
and
Mm.
it feels good.
Um, I'm gonna make an admission here, a Green Eggs and Dan exclusive
Yeah.
admission. I don't think I've ever eaten at Fat Sal's.
You know, a lot of what Fat Sal's does, I will say, is to people who I feel like are trying to be relatively healthy. Most of their stuff there is like an insane calorie bomb. It's
Mm.
like, hey, do you want 9,000 calories? It sometimes feels like it's kind of for people who are like, I don't give a shit, or this is like a one-time thing, or I'm absolutely wasted. Because frankly, when I go there after shows, it's like me, a DoorDash guy, and then like five people who are absolutely blasted,
Yeah. Yeah,
just ordering. Yeah.
if you're going there, that is an Uber from the bar before getting home.
Yeah. And they're like, can I get 9 chicken wings in a sandwich with ranch? And it's just like a deranged kind of thing. But they do have some healthier-ish kind of things. And that's one of them, like the turkey clubby type thing.
Why do
But
I
it is good.
associate it with isn't like one of the guys from Entourage an investor in that place?
You know what? I didn't know this, but then my brother was like, I was like, yeah, yeah, I have like fat cells if you want half of it. And he's like, oh, isn't that the guy like the Entourage guy? And I go, I don't, I don't know. I don't know. But I guess and then I looked it up and it is like one of, I don't know if it's Turtle.
Turtle.
I
I
think
think
it's
that's
Turtle.
it.
Yeah.
It is Turtle.
We love an enterprising turtle. And
Yeah.
I apparently like the main one is like in Hollywood or something like that. And the one I live on the west side in Culver. So like the one here is sort of like a branch. So that's a good sign. Like the
Turtle's doing
business,
okay.
Turtle's doing okay. And, but yeah, I like the place. It's fun. And the employees there that work there, I will say I really like those guys. They're
Do
nice
they know
guys.
you? Do you get the tongue?
No, no, no. I
Are
don't
you
get
getting the
I haven't
tongue?
been recognized yet because you know, the show's only been out for like less than 2 weeks. Also, I haven't made like the play. I should tell them. I see them all the time. I should just stop being this anonymous guy and be like, listen, it's time I reveal my true identity, which is I am the lead of a show called Deli Boys on because I'm sure they've seen.
And they're gonna be like, yeah, no, we know.
They're like,
We
we know,
know.
and we didn't care for
Can
it.
you get in the
This is
line, please?
very weird. These guys throwing up behind you have ordered first, so can you please? But I should tell them.
You should do some deli influencing, 100%. I always try to do influencing for whatever show I'm on, whatever
Yeah.
angle it is. Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to influence something. You
Like
should
what you
like
what,
have like Boar's Head like sponsor you or
oh
something.
shit. We were taking around like a truck and we took it around to a couple cities where, you know, it would be like chai and then like, you know, they had like free scratch offs and like merch and shit like that. But I think straight up going, we were thinking about maybe next week going um and going to like Little India, like in Artesia,
Uh-huh.
and then like trying to promote the show there, and then trying to maybe explain to like older South Asian people who've definitely not seen the show, like the premise of the show to see if
That's
they'd get on
funny.
board because for sure the premise would be very off-putting to them.
Right.
Um, and maybe doing that, yeah, trying to promote it, maybe making a video of like me desperately asking them if I can put the poster in their window.
Yeah. Or like going to bodegas. That sounds hilarious.
Yeah.
Just like
But there's
getting
not that many bodegas, I feel like, in LA. It's like not an LA thing.
yeah,
You
it's
know, it's
not.
sort of just like liquor stores and then like the Boar's Head in a grocery store,
Yeah, yeah.
which Ralph's is not going to let me, Kroger's not going to let me put up a poster. I will get
Um
tased immediately. But
Oh my
like
God.
the family owned places I probably could. Like I gotta hit up all those places for sure. Like there's this great place. I don't know if you've ever been to it, but it's like the best like Pakistani Indian kind of food. In my opinion, that's like closer-ish to the city that feels like, oh, you go in there, there's plastic on the tables, the guy is not trying to talk to you, he's just in and
Yeah.
out, and the prices are like so insanely affordable. It's called Al Watan. Have you ever been there?
No?
It's in like Torrance, I believe.
Okay.
And you have to go. If you're ever in that area, you have to go. Like
Wow.
everything they have there is so good, and it's just straight up. It feels like, oh, it's just a bunch of uncles who just do two things. They wake up, they pray, they open up the store, and they stay there the entire day, and then they come home, they sleep, they rinse, and they repeat. Like it's the dedication. Like they stayed open the entirety of COVID,
Wow.
and they like found a way to do it where it was like touchless or whatever. But and in that community, there's like not even that many like South Asian-y people in that neighborhood because they're like in the hood of, I believe it's Torrance or Westchester. Like they're in the hood
Okay.
and they just are so popular. Nobody fucks with them. And they've been there for so long. And it's like it reminds me of like when I like all my family lives in Chicago and I went to college there and like I'd spent a lot of time there and there's this little India there called or little South Asia. It's like India, Pakistan, and it's called Devon. It's
Hmm.
literally the street is Devon, but there've been so many South Asian people that they've referred to it as Devon Street.
Hilarious.
And it has all these incredible like super authentic restaurants there and it felt like that. Alwathon felt like that of like, oh, this guy's not trying to placate anybody. He's
Mm.
just like, this is what I make and this is what this is. And I appreciate that. This guy's not trying to do fusion shit. He's not taking suggestions.
Wow.
He's like, this is what it is and this is what you're getting. He might budge on spice, but that's kind of it. But he's so happy. I mean, he's so busy, and I think that's like a testament to like if you make shit that's like really good, you don't need to dress it up. People will talk about you. They'll be like,
Yeah.
dude, this is so fucking good. We have
Al
to make the
Watan.
drive.
Dude,
It's
I want
the
to get.
only place that when my dad comes to California, he's always like, because he stays, my brother has a house in Seal Beach, so he'll be like, hey, when you're driving down here, can you stop by El Watan and get the chicken and the rice? And it makes him so happy. So I feel like if I my dad likes it, it's like you guys are doing something good.
That is Al Watan.
Yeah,
I like want to go right now.
it's so good, dude.
What's the order?
The order is I just get like their they just have like a regular standard sort of like chicken that they have like a house marinade that they do. It's like it's so basic.
Yeah.
And then you just put like put a little yogurt on it and you can honestly just eat that with bread or rice and you'll be so happy. You'll be
Mm.
so happy.
Mm.
Maybe a little bit of, depending on your spice level, you can kick it up a little bit. It's those kinds of basics. It's like you can feed a little baby. Like you could feed like a 5-year-old and they'd be like, this is my favorite thing in the world. And then like my 80-year-old dad. And he'll be
Yeah.
like, it's like standard basic shit. That's so
Wow.
good.
Okay. Al Watan is on the list. It's on the
Yeah.
list. Okay, I'm gonna get to the questions that I ask every guest. Starting
All right.
with, what is your earliest food memory?
My earliest food memory is, um, oh damn. I would say like something that really stuck with me was probably my dad a bought a grill because he didn't enjoy our stove was being weird. Now we have an electric stove in the house,
Okay.
like when I was like in middle school. But before then, we had a stove in the house, but it's like kind of really shitty.
It
And
was a
so
hearth. It was just a big fire in the middle of
yeah,
the room.
yeah. You need to lean in to stick a knot on it. But he was like, no, this food doesn't taste as good as it should be. And the way he grew up was, like how your parents and our parents grew up, it's like open flame, put a
Yeah.
thing on it, direct contact, let's go. Like I need to be able to see how much I'm jacking this thing up, and it needs to be kind of dangerous. And you can't do that inside the house. So he was like, there was a deal at like a Home Depot or something like that, and he bought like just a regular barbecue grill, but he never really used the barbecue side. He
Okay.
just used the like sort of stovetop side
Yeah.
and he would blast that motherfucker. Like he was making so like he would cook pretty much exclusively in like the patio backyard area of our house. So I remember going out there and like looking through like the glass door and my dad would be just fucking ripping it up, no shirt on, just ripping it up back there. And he'd be making all these amazing things. And what I remember, one of the earliest things I remember him doing was um just like the pre chopping. Like he would be very into like the onions, the cilantro, the garlic, the ginger, all of that, salt and pepper and all that. And he would have all that ready to go.
The prep, the mise en place, if you will.
Yes, all of that. prep stuff and then just eyeballing it. I just remember it being so fast that I couldn't keep up. It just felt like, oh, this man is working off of intuition in a way that
Mm.
I don't really get. And that felt fun to me watching as a kid because it felt like he was, even though obviously, as an adult, I know that it was very calculated and he knew. But as a kid, I was watching it and it just looked like a guy chucking things
Yeah.
into a walk and being like, I don't know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And that seemed fun to me of like chucking things in and then just like, tossing stuff and the flame is going crazy and then bringing stuff down. And then while he was doing that, he was also making bread, rotis, like on the counter. So I would help him
Wow.
with that of like getting the flour ready, and then I would like do the roller pin kind of thing and learning how to make bread on the pan, which I feel like I did a little bit during COVID, and then I stopped doing it. And it just those little things like making something with your actual hands, I get it now. Like everything just means more when you've actually made it or
Yeah, but
like when
there's
you're around
I
it.
agree with you, but there's no real need to, and I'll tell you why. Two words. Fat Sal's. Okay? Fat Sal's doing all the work for us now.
That's how it's doing the work. There should be an option, honestly, at these places for people who like can't or don't have the time to sit down and make a bunch of bread and all that kind of shit. Just let me go in the back. Because I think physically, I think what it is being able to like touch and
Yeah.
like touch let me cut
Yeah.
the bread in half. I'm not going to do anything crazy. Let me cut the bread in half and fold it open. You do all the other shit and then just let me roll it up in the paper, and I guarantee you my relationship with this sandwich will be 10 times more meaningful.
Yeah, on Postmates there should be a button for deconstructed.
Yeah.
And you press it, they just send you the ingredients raw. With an
Well,
instruction guide like an IKEA, like how to build IKEA furniture, but for the sandwich.
well, that's the thing that like Blue Apron and those people tried, but I feel like that's too much. Now you've given me all the ingredients.
Yeah.
I just want to be around and give
Hmm.
me like one, two jobs tops.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
open up
Blue.
the bread. Let me do mayonnaise and
Yeah.
roll it up. I don't need the whole thing.
Yeah. Blue Apron gave us way too much credit.
Don't
No,
do
Blue
this.
Apron. We don't
Don't
want
do
to do the
this.
whole thing. We want our dad to open the jar for us and then pretend that it's still closed, and then we open the rest. That's all we want.
But also I feel like I'm really like I definitely got more into cooking during COVID. My friend Chris was a chef when he was a kid a long time ago, and so we would do these things where like he would come over and we'd cook stuff, and it was fun to like, oh, I learned how to make steak, and I learned how to make a nice chicken in the oven, and make potatoes and all that kind of shit. Um, and I learned how to make like a tomato chutney that my parents make. I still have to. It's still not the best, but those kinds of things are fun to do. But then I feel like, damn, dude, it's just like I don't. I'm just a guy. I'm just me. So like, if
Yeah.
I'm not in entertaining five
Yeah.
people, then it's like, what am I making? Because you can't making an amount for one person is
Yeah.
truly just like it's actually more depressing.
I was just gonna say, as someone who cooks a lot,
Yeah.
there is something so satisfying and then right away depressing of like, oh my God, I made this whole brisket and it came out great. Oh, I guess I'll just be having 1/100th of it and then just staring at this big joint of meat by
And then you go,
myself.
I guess I'll take a photo for Instagram. And then they
Yeah.
text you back and they go, those people must be really lucky. And you go, yeah.
Yeah. I'm so alone.
As you put it in a glass Tupperware.
Yeah.
But
So
that's
good.
the thing. Especially with stand-up too, I feel like I don't have the time to, I would love to entertain people, but it's like the problem with stand-up is we are working
Prime dinner
during
hours.
prime dinner hours.
Yeah, yeah.
It
That's what's,
sucks.
as someone who's like such a restaurant whore like myself, that's the thing I hate about being on the road because it's like I'm on the road, I'm in these cities that I would die to go eat at,
Yeah.
but I'm working from 6 p.m. to 11.
And
Like,
you can't have a three-course meal at lunch
no,
and then
no,
fall asleep and miss
no.
all of your shows. Like and also the lunch menu, if you're going to a fancy restaurant, you're going there for the dinner menu.
Yeah. I
Lunch
want to
and
be able
brunch.
to relax. I want to eat
Yes.
this and then be done.
But this is why super, hopefully we'll get there someday, is like I was at I did the store yesterday, the day before yesterday, and it was me and Fahim went there to Bossa Nova. It's just like down the street.
Hmm.
And Bossa Nova is a fine place. It's fine. And it stays open late, which is a benefit. And then we were like, we finished eating and we were like ready to leave. And then Bobby Lee and Marcelo Hernandez came in because they were also performing at the store.
Uh-huh.
And so the guy was ready to be like, hey, you guys should leave. And then he saw them
Yeah.
and was like, we can stay open. And I looked at Fahim and I go, that's the only reason. That's literally the only reason I would want to be famous is the idea because of stand up that you could go to a restaurant and they'll be like, we'll stay open for another hour for you
Yeah.
because we
Yeah.
know who you are and you'll take a
Right.
picture with me. Otherwise, we're missing prime dinner hours. But
No, when
I go to
when
so
we
many
get
diners.
when we get to the restaurant, it's hey, you've got 30 seconds to order,
Yeah.
fuckface, and get in your car and turn the keys on because you're taking this to go.
Yeah, you're getting it in very just like hot Tupperware and we're kicking you out. No silverware. Get the fuck out of here. And then
I
it's
don't believe
cold
it,
when you
Asif.
get home.
You're almost there, buddy. You're almost at the keep the restaurant open level of fame.
Just let me eat. Just let me get it on a plate. That's all I'm asking. Give me half an hour.
Okay, next question. What is your death row meal? Let's think of a reason that you are on death row. You get in
Ooh.
your car, you take
Yeah.
the long drive to Al Watan,
Uh-huh.
and they're out of the chicken.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh. Little do they know, you have a illegal machine gun in your car.
Uh-huh. I say to them, you don't do this to a guy that's just been nominated for a People's Choice Award because
Yeah.
I just came from the People's Choice Awards.
Yeah.
And I take my gun out and I've done a lot of cocaine. It was like um me and Austin Butler and Olivia Rodrigo are just running lines
Yes.
and at crypto. And I go, listen, guys, I would love to be a part of this threesome, but I have to go to Alwathon. And I get there,
Yeah.
and the guy, he runs a tight ship.
Yeah.
And he goes, sorry, we're closed. And I
Right.
go, okay. And I go back to my car, which
Right.
is
And then,
still the car that Disney paid for. So
by the
there's
way,
a driver in there.
why, by the time you get back to your car, Marcelo Hernandez walks into the restaurant
And
and
he's taking pictures. He's
they're like,
behind the
oh,
counter. They're
we're
letting him
open.
cook. Yeah. I take a gun out and I say, listen, you don't do this to me. Okay. I've
Yeah.
worked too hard
Yeah.
and I've done too much for this
Yeah.
for us and in this business. I've been through too
Hmm.
much shit. You're gonna stay open and you're gonna get me this chicken. And he says no. And then what happens is I try to attack him.
Right.
He hits the gun out of my hand
Right.
and it hits the ground and it accidentally shoots Marcelo Hernandez. So now I'm getting the death penalty because you don't do that to somebody who's that famous.
And the worst part is that now the restaurant is closing because they don't have Marcelo
They don't
to
have the
take the
Marcelo
picture.
bump. Yes,
He's
yes, yes,
dead.
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
And so now I'm on death row.
Yeah.
Um, and so now they're asking me what my final meal is. And now my final meal was going to be Owathan, but now that they're closed, that's out the window.
It's a little ironic, yeah.
So what I would do, I would hope that if I'm on death row, I would honestly hope that I would like my dad has diabetes and he's like totally good because he takes care of it. But I would hope if in my future death row is on the line that
Mm.
I would have full-blown diabetes because then I could kill myself before you could kill me. And my death
Ah,
row meal would be
death by
like
glucose.
exactly. So I would start normal. I would do something fun like a Super Bowl meal, like hot wings, pizza, soda, and then I would follow it up with just like ice cream, cake, brownies. And the hope is that by the time I'm done with this meal, the guards come and I'm already dead.
Wow. Whoa,
Yeah.
dude. You've
Mhm.
thought this through.
I've thought this through, man.
This is
And then for the sake of, the government having, a show, that they caught me and they're bringing me
mm,
to justice, they have to pick me up and take my limp body.
mm.
And then, just to say like, no, we did it, but we know.
Right.
We know
We
what it
know.
really was. It
No.
was
Well,
an
no.
ice cream Snickers bar.
Because you're gonna have a huge smile on your dead
Yeah.
face. Like,
They're like, we can't do anything. The smile is just like permanent.
he doesn't look like he was electrocuted. He looks pretty
He
stoked.
looks so excited about this. Very weird. Deranged guy, I guess. I don't know.
What what is what is the best high-end meal you've ever had?
The best high-end meal I have ever had. Honestly, I can't. Oh, no, 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 no. I feel like I was in London. I don't want to say it was expensive per se. It was a long wait. I have to look up the name. I forget the name of the restaurant, but it was like a Chinese restaurant in London. It was by the
Hmm.
West End. We took my mom to go see a play. She had never seen like a play before. And we were like, "Do you want to eat?" And she was like, "Yeah." And so I looked up this Chinese. I have to find it and send it to you. But
It was like an
it
upscale Chinese restaurant?
yeah, it was kind of like a mid upscale kind of thing, but it was more so just like a long wait.
Uh,
And I had something called oil spill. Have you ever had this? Where it's like
no.
it's like a long ass noodle that they make in house, like a wide long noodle, like one, and then they soak it in this just like hot broth oil kind of thing, and then they put like a rib, like a beef rib in it that's been
Uh-huh.
just like marinating for like days.
Mm-hmm.
And then and like the broth they put on is like super fucking hot. And it's just like three things. It's like so simple. And then you just get that noodle in that broth, and then you
Okay.
get that beef short rib off of it. And I remember looking at my mom and being like, this is a very risky thing to say as a child of immigrants. But I looked at her and I go, I think this is the best meal I've ever had in my life. And she looked at me and she was like, okay. And I think she was just letting me have it, but in her heart, she's like, how dare you? How fucking dare you say this to me?
This is literally the best thing I've eaten out of anything I've ever
Yeah,
eaten in
yeah,
my
it was so fucking good.
What is
And
it called? What was the name of this
oil
dish?
spill was the
Oh,
name of the actual
can we
dish.
not come up with a better name
I,
than
I
oil
but
spill?
I think part of that maybe was their strategy of like, if we give it this kind of name only associated with BP and Exxon Valdez, if we give it a name like that, you'll taste it and then you'll get back on board.
Oh, so it's like an under promise over deliver.
1000%.
You're
That
like,
was
there's no way that oil slick,
Yeah. No
yeah,
way. Yeah. Yeah.
oil spill.
Duck that can't swim anymore is gonna be good. But I would say that was like a mid-level restaurant, but like super high end. Truthfully, I don't think I've been to many like super
Wow.
high end restaurants. Honestly, I don't think I have because again, the hours. These places, high end places, close at
You know,
9.
it's not lost on me that you are very good friends with Hassan Minaj because you
Yeah.
guys both have something in common, which is that you're both wastes of fame. You are wastes of fame. Okay?
Okay, Dan, help me. Dan, help me. Okay,
Use
what
your
should I be doing? What should I
use
be
your
doing? I should.
use your goddamn fame to go to the best restaurants and eat amazing food.
Okay.
I was like, I asked him this question, and he was like, "Oh, I went to Sharky's for a burger." I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, we have problems, dude. I think also, you know what it might be, Dan, if we're really getting into it. I think part of us deep down is like the immigrant thing of like we feel like
It could be
this is
taken
either a
away.
waste or we
Yeah.
don't deserve this.
I think you have to go to Bungalow because Bungalow will satisfy both of these things because
Okay.
you'll
New
feel
York
comfortable.
City, I'm going to be there like in April, I think. So I will
Okay, hit me up
make it a point. I will hit you up.
for sure. What is your favorite? Do you have a favorite low end meal? I would think this might be
It
the
might be the Fat Sal's. It
might be the Fat Sal's. Okay.
um super low end, like if I'm getting really nasty. Honestly, if I'm
Mm,
getting really nasty,
yeah.
Del Taco, half pound bean and cheese burrito, red sauce. I get two of them. If I'm
Wow.
trying to get really nasty, and every comedian has a meal they'll eat after they have a bad set, like after you just eat
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
And thankfully, I haven't had a just like catastrophically horrendous set in a little while, thankfully. But sometimes, just for nostalgia's sake, pop over to Del Taco. And again, it's a
Mm,
time thing.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
midnight. Where else am I going to eat? And before Fat Sal's was around, I was popping by Del Taco, and it's really good. I only get two. I could eat probably 46 of them, but I
Wow.
try to retain some sort of self-control in some sort of way. Very filling, very affordable. I don't know what's in them, and frankly, I do not care to know.
You don't need to know.
But it doesn't feel as bad as like eating mystery meat. Like eating a 99-cent burger, I feel like to me feels crazier than eating a bean and cheese burrito.
Oh,
Although,
of course.
yeah, although who knows? But to me, that's the move. Half pound and with all the sauces, and I'll just that's
Yeah.
my actual like low end go to.
Gotcha. That's a good one. That's a
Mhm.
good one. Next question is favorite drunk food, but I don't know if you drink. Do you?
I don't really get into getting drunk kind of vibes, but I will say that
Oh, so
me,
you're not the best Muslim. You're
it's not a part of my life. Like I don't go out and drink, which is, you know,
wow.
as I've been performing, I find that it's a good thing in that, you know what helped me the most, to be honest with
What?
you? It wasn't, because I'm not like particularly religious. It was doing stand up when I was in Chicago. The thing that turned me off to drinking a lot was I remember going to comedy clubs and I would hang out. Remember they tell you like when you first starting out comedy, you just want to hang out and watch people do their hours and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I remember hanging out at clubs and I remember seeing this like road dog. I think it was at Zany's or somewhere else. I forget his name, but it's like ultimate road dog. Like he was like in his maybe like late 50s. He had maybe one little moment in 1981.
Mm,
He hadn't updated his set since then. Really
right.
just like defeated, but just
His
can't let it
headshot
go.
was still him at like
Yeah,
23.
it was him just like 145 pounds, and then he comes in 260, just absolutely just he just looked bad. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't even like a fun big guy. Like, oh, I'm having fun and this is what a guy looks like when he gets old kind of thing. It was like, no, this is not the result of him having fun.
Yeah.
This is the result of him being sad and like defeated for the past 20 plus years. And that guy, before he did any of his sets, would have to have like 3 drinks just to
Yeah.
get the gumption to do a Thursday. And then I would go on Friday and I saw the same guy and he did the same thing Friday early show, Saturday. And I was just like, that was my scared straight program. Because I was like, this is my dream. And I don't want to be that guy. I
Mm,
would rather just quit
yeah.
if I feel like this is what I'm gonna do. And I also felt like talking to the guy, he would always keep saying like, I should have done this, I should have done that, should have done this, should have done that. And I was like, oh, like he's just like full of regrets for whatever
Oof.
reason, whatever
Oof.
happened, and was just like powering through this thing that he doesn't even like doing anymore. It's not even
Yeah.
like he like, oh, but being on stage was the one moment of my day that I actually enjoyed. He was also miserable in a non-funny way on stage.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh man, this seems to not be helping. And
Yeah.
and also I was like, oh, I also want to act and stuff. And it's like, I don't want to end up looking like this guy.
Yeah.
So I was like, that was my scared straight program of like, dude, this seems to be the correlating factor of like a lot of comics were fucked up already. So if we add unlimited drinks, which a lot of clubs, it was kind of the only thing they were offering us. Um, I was like, I should probably stay away from this stuff. So I have, and I will every once in a while, but it's not like a big part of my life. I scared myself out of it.
Hey guys, typically this is a comedy podcast. Um,
Oh, hold on. This isn't This American Life. I'm sorry.
this this is the AA
Yeah.
hour. You know what's funny though, Asif? I have almost word for word the same exact story. When I was starting out doing comedy,
Yeah.
there was a guy who his thing was, I need to have 3 Heinekens before I go on stage. And he said it as if it was like a cool thing. He's like, that's my thing, bro, 3 Heinekens. And I remember being like, what an awful thing that you have to have 3 Heinekens to go on stage. And so I actually I have like a hard and fast rule, not one sip of anything, especially before I get on stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
mean, And I've it's funny because I've done shows where I've had like openers and features who are like drinking before, and I get pissed. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
bro, wait till after the show. Like this, like let's let's have our shit together. It
Yeah.
just feels to me like you're not taking it seriously. And maybe that's prude of me, but I don't know, man. Like you're going to work. You're going to
Yeah.
work.
I
Who
mean,
drinks and goes to work?
some people can do it and it works for them. Some people can't. But I think it's mostly just understanding what you want to do. And I feel like, damn, dude, if I went down that rabbit hole, I mean, I would have nothing would have happened for me.
Yeah.
Also, I am so um like I had friends who were doing that and it kind of helped them get through like the bomb years.
Yeah.
But I was like so scared of pursuing this as a career in the sense of like, I really need something to happen here. I love doing it, but I want to be good at it if I'm gonna throw away the potential of me, having a regular, career or something like that. So I was
Yeah.
like, I really want to give this an honest shot. So I need to know if I'm bombing.
Yeah.
I don't want to come home and like I would look at some of my friends and they'd be like, "That was great," and I'd be like, "Dude, you ate shit last night. You have
That
to
was awesome. I'm
change your
always
stuff."
fascinated by that. Like that was a good set. Did we watch the same set? That was awesome.
But yeah, I mean, definitely like there's the whole spectrum kind of thing. But yeah, for me, it was great to not because it just allowed me to input more data so I could get
Yeah.
better and pay attention.
Is there a food you can't stand eating?
Uh, I have a hard time eating food that has like a super gamey flavor to it. Like if something's
Hmm.
super like smell, I can kind of get past, but just a super gamey kind of texture and
Yeah.
taste is hard for me. Like if I'm still chewing, like there's some foods where like you gotta really fucking chew to get here. And I'm just not I maybe I haven't had the right version of that, but something that's super gamey, like for example, like tongue, super gamey. There's no
Hmm.
very rarely, if ever, have I ever heard of someone getting tongue and being like, oh yeah, you just it's great, just like so easy to eat, whatever. It's like you chew on that shit. That's like a you're chewing on it.
There's some tongues that are very well braised and that will fall apart nicely.
But
But it's
that's
mostly
probably like
beef tongue.
yeah.
Lamb tongue has always got it's
They're
always got some
yappers.
bite to
Yeah.
it. They are yappers. All that bang.
Yeah, their
They got a
tongues are too
strong
strong.
tongue. Strong ass tongue.
But I will say, like, I'm pretty open to most things. But yeah, things that are like super gamey, I feel like my brain is just like, and maybe it's like a palate thing because I didn't grow up eating super gamey things. Um, and I honestly think that that is a lot of it. Just like whatever you grew up eating, your
Yeah.
flavor profile. Like if you didn't grow up eating super gamey things, then you're not gonna be into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I would say yeah, that kind of stuff. Smelly, gamey.
Okay. Last question. This is my favorite question. What
Yeah.
is or what are your restaurant pet peeves?
Uh, Restaurant pet peeves are um too much ambiance at the sake of the food. Like if I feel like I'm paying for candles and not for the actual food, that really pisses me off.
I feel like the running theme I'm noticing in this podcast is Asif constantly thinks he's being bamboozled.
100%. Can I tell you that's in my entire childhood? My father told us that. He was like, don't let people scam you. He was like, always be on the lookout because people are trying to take advantage of people at all times. And don't let someone, because you work hard for your money, don't let someone just rob you and you smile and just take it. So with restaurants, if it's too nice and the food isn't good, I'm going to be livid. Uh, and also another one is, um, I don't care if you're like if the ambiance is like whatever, like if you're just like, hey, come here, sit down. Like I don't mind that at all. What I do mind is if I'm just like standing right next to you and you just don't acknowledge my existence. Like if I'm like,
Hmm.
hi, and you just don't like I don't exist.
Like at the hostess table type thing.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
what's happening here? I'm
Yeah.
standing here. I would say those are my two big ones. And then the last one is, and I, this happened to me on a date, was we were sitting at this Italian restaurant and we were sitting down having a great time. And I noticed her kind of just being like, having this look on her face. And I was like, what's wrong? And we happened to be seated in a table where she could see directly into the kitchen. But it wasn't like the cute part of the kitchen.
Hmm.
It was like you can see the garbage can
Hmm.
and the floor and like their backs. And it's like
Yeah.
not the fun, like, oh, people are, flambeing and it's like romantic the bear part of it. It
Right.
was
It's
like
like the
the
dishwasher area.
nasty part of the kitchen was right by the door. And she was just like, I was like, what's wrong? And she's like, I can just see their dirty Crocs and like, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh. And I turned around and I was like, oh, I can see that being kind of. I was like, I didn't know that that could be a pet peeve, but I was like, yeah, don't sit people with views where they can see the floor of the kitchen and the garbage can.
Yeah, I like I'm good with that because I also don't like sitting in the area where there's the what is
The
this door,
sliding the cowboy doors or
the
whatever.
cowboy door thing, and
Yeah.
like it opens and then I get blasted with the fluorescent light of the kitchen. Like
And the all the smells and
yeah,
noise
the smells, the
and the
music.
anxiety of the kitchen is seeping onto you.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't need that. I don't need that whatsoever.
Like you're on a date and you're like, this is great, but they're really behind in
Yeah. I think I should go help them. They
Yeah,
need
we gotta really turn over this table because they're really behind back there.
Oh, I love it. Asif, thank you so much. This was as fun as I knew it was going to be.
This is great.
Everyone, please watch Deli Boys on Hulu. It is hilarious.
And if you're
It's
international, which I'm sure a lot of your fans are, because you got
Mhm.
both, this is an
Yep.
international pod. It's Hulu in the US, it's Disney Plus everywhere else in the world, and if you're in India, it's on Hotstar.
Woo! Hot
It's on Hotstar,
Star.
baby.
You made it to Hot Star,
I made
baby.
it to Hotstar, baby. And if you want to find info about like pop-ups and my tour dates, find me on Instagram at Ali Comedy, Ali Comedy.
Amazing. Thank you, Asif.
Dude, this is the best. Thank you.
Amazing. Amazing. That was perfect.